Question 10, we got the difference. Now, they don't look like squares, but I also notice that they're both even. So what's common to both of these? 2. I can take a 2 out. So let's take that 2 out. Then what's left? 18 divided by 2 is a 9, y squared. Negative 8 divided by 2 is minus 4. And now you can probably see right there, difference of 2 squares, right? Here's 3y squared, and here's 2 squared. So bring that 2 along. Here's our 2 parentheses. Unsquare, we'll get 3y, 2 and 2, make 1 plus and 1 minus. That is the factored form. Question 11, again, the difference, not squares, but there's a 5 common, so let's take that 5 out. So if I take that 5 out, 45 divided by 5 is a 9, and then the a squared comes along. Negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4, and looks like what we just had, doesn't it? So 5, how about 3a, 2 and 2, 1 plus, 1 minus. Question 12, we have the difference. Now what do we have here? 100m cubed minus 36m. Well, first of all, I notice that these are both even, and in fact, I could take out a 2, or the biggest number I can take out, I think here is a 4, right? I think both these are divisible by 4. And then also, I have 3 m's here and 1 m here. There's an m common. So let's take out a 4m, and what's left? Well, how about this? 100 divided by 4 is 25, which is good because that's a perfect square. There were 3 m's. We removed 1, so there's 2 left. And then negative 36 divided by 4 is negative 9. There was an m, but we pulled it out. Now, you can see the difference of 2 squares here, right? What you've got is 5m squared and then 3 squared. So how about 4m? Bring that along. Don't forget that one. Here's our parentheses. So unsquare, we'll get 5m, 3 and 3. One's plus, one's minus. Question 13. This is the difference of 2 squares. You can see here we've got the difference. Now, what would you square to get y to the 4th? Well, how about y squared? I mean, isn't it true that y squared is y to the 4th? So I really do have the difference of 2 squares. So let's write our parentheses. Then I'll get y squared, and then square root of 81 is 9 and 9. Make 1 plus, 1 minus. But now look what we have. This one here is the sum of 2 squares. Now I can't do anything with the sum of 2 squares. However, this one over here, that's the difference of 2 squares. That'll factor again. So bring this one down. Bring that along, y squared plus 9. But this second one here will factor just like a new problem. Y and y, 3 and 3, 1 plus, 1 minus. So now it's completely factored. Question 4, that 625 is a big number, but it is the square of 25. Now, if you're not sure, just take square root of 625 on your calculator, and you'll see it. And the y to the 4th, that's the square of y squared, right? Just like we did down here, y squared is y to the 4th. In fact, if you have an even exponent, if you just cut it in half, you get its square root in a sense. Now, here's what we'll have. How about 25y squared, 25y squared, 4 and 4 for the 16, 1 plus, 1 minus. Now this one here, that first factor, that is the sum of 2 squares. Can't do anything with that. But this one here, that minus, that's the difference of 2 squares. That doesn't look like a square. Let's make it look like a square. Okay, now bring this one along. 25y squared plus 4. But this second one will factor unsquared, just like a new problem. 5y, 2 and 2. One's plus, one's minus. And that's it. We've got it. And the last problem in this group is the difference. Now, they're not squares, right? 2 is not a square, neither is the r. But look at this. 2 and 18, those are both even, so 2 is common. I got an r here, 3 r's here, so there's an r in common. I got 3 x's here and 1 x here. There's an x in common. So let's take out the common factors. I can take out a 2 and an r, right? An r, I have 1 and 3. It's always the smaller exponent, so take out the 1. And the x's, I've got 3 and I've got 1, so there's at least one x in each of these. Now, if you remove those, what have you got left? There was a 2, we removed it. There was an r, we removed it. There were 3 x's, we removed 1, so there's 2 left, so how about x squared? Then, negative 18 divided by 2 is minus 9. Now, there were 3 r's, we removed 1, so there's 2 left. There was 1 x, we removed it. Now, see this? Difference of 2 squares. So bring that 2rx along. Here's our parentheses. Now we'll unsquare, right? What do you square to get x? Well, x squared. You get x and x. What would you unsquare to get 9r squared? How about 3r? So 3r, 3r. Make 1 plus and 1 minus. There we have it. That does it. And that ends our homework set 13.